Final one, everybody. Woo! It's a bit lower down this one, Nigel. There we are. Can you see it? Action is Appier. So this is the last one, and this is like my favourite really, because I think that the one thing that I did when I was 50% happy in my work, life, play, home, everything, and the move I made to 80% happy and being inspired every single day, whereas I could have some days where I wasn't too inspired. I could actually do things like watch box sets and things like that, eat lots of chocolate all day. I could do all sorts of things and the day would just like disappear, kind of things. And of course what changed it, if you know my story, which is in here, and it's got obviously all the contributions from everybody else, and a forward by Tim Campbell, fantastic friend who's the, you see on The Apprentice all the time presenting that, is that in 2009 I actually had a year's sabbatical in Malta. And and I asked my business partner Claire if I could go, and my family if I could go, and just have a year to actually sort of like, I felt so lucky that I'd got to the same age as my dad had died at 57, and that was in 2009. So I had a year in Malta, and surprisingly enough, they said, what a great idea, bugger off kind of thing, and so obviously I did. I went to Malta, and I completely sort of like just was creative for a whole year, just creative. I just enjoyed the whole year. I wrote novels, I wrote poetry, I wrote all the kind of things I wanted to do. Walk miles and miles and miles in the fresh air all the day, and I'd type it all in, or key it in, is probably the proper word nowadays. I would key in all the words in the evening, various things. And the important thing I recognised was this: action is Appier. In other words, people can actually spend a lot of time focused on themselves, and you get everybody saying, well, mindset is everything, and everything is focused on the me, and in actual fact, the best way to happiness, being inspired every day, is to actually be doing things. It's you inhale the insight, and then you get on and you actually do something. And you do some things that you actually, from your insight, make you think, yeah, that was useful, or that was good to do, or that was helpful to somebody else, or I remember things like the joy of actually helping somebody that has actually fallen in the street. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? My mother giggled away all the way through life, but she never had anything more satisfying to her than when somebody was ill, because she could actually help them and do something for them, and it's the doing that's the important thing. So that takes me on to, if you like, why I found that when I came back, that I started jogging. I mean, I'm not a runner, I play all sorts of sports and various things, but I started jogging when I came back, to keep up the exercise I'd done in Malta and things, and to keep this freshness of every day, looking forward to getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, doing things all the day, sleeping properly at night because you've had such a fulfilling good day, and daily inspiration. And and I came back, and so I started running, and as you know, I've raised thousands and thousands for Macmillan Cancer Support on behalf of Macmillan, and because of my 5 friends around here. And I actually think that I am so lucky, and this is inspiring to me, and you may find something similar for you, is that family and friends are one of the key ingredients. Put family and friends first in happypreneurship as a philosophy in everything I do. So family and my close friends like Nigel and various things are the most important thing to me in my life. And when I started running, I felt incredibly lucky that I was alive, and fortunately 5 of my friends between the ages of 28 and 57 were no longer alive. And so I've run in memory of them all the time. And they keep me going, because sometimes these marathons can be a bit, yucky really, a bit hard to do, and there's a lot of pain involved in even the training for marathons. But what kept me going to the end, like of the London Marathon, which I've just done, various things, is thinking about how lucky I am, how grateful I am, and how much I miss. And I've got all the memories while I'm running and thinking about them of these people. So whatever's happening to me is, I'm just so lucky to be alive, and that makes me want to get through every day. And I thought the best way of actually thinking about daily inspiration was me to finish by writing or reading one of my poems about one of these people, which is Jude. And the poem is called One St. Jude. And if ever there was somebody who was inspiring to me every moment I was with her, and she was a very taciturn Yorkshire woman, but she did so much for other people, the we was always more important than the I to her. If I read you this poem, you'll understand why I believe actions are more important than the mindset of thinking all the time about yourself. So here we go. It's called One St. Jude. Not had much luck spotting saints, just the three. One was my philosophy lecturer, became chief rabbi, then the Lord, barred from sainthood, obviously. Two was one of my aunties, Dolly and Annie. They lived in a prefab in Hull. Dolly looked after Annie. Auntie Dolly's body was bent. She was so old, about my age now, and I was 7. So I didn't record her miracles like bowling mystery off-spin for hours to knock my forward defensive into shape. Which just leaves 3, the only one that counts. St. Jude of Willoughby High Street, where saints are not plentiful. So it was a right good spot by me of this 18-year-old saint. Willoughby High Street saints don't use their halos, they use mugs of coffee. As she hands you a mug, she tells you what's what, sorts you out, dry cleans you, stands up for you, suffers ridicule, shows you the way to help all the people everyone else avoids. One St. Jude of many safe havens. Inspiring or what?